Welcome to the Tammi Mac Late Show on Fox Soul. I'm Tammi Mac. Hey, everybody. On this show, we believe in highlighting issues that are important to you and in uplifting people in the Black community who are doing some amazing things, might I add. And it happens so frequently. Y'all just don't know about it, but that's what I'm here for, honey. And because it's Black History Month tonight, we are talking to Black women who have achieved what many would believe to be the impossible dream. Young Black owners of a major hotel chain. Oh, we've got that. A Black owned search engine that you can use instead of Google or Yahoo. Oh, we got that too. And the youngest Black woman ever to be a full-time trader on the New York Stock Exchange. Yeah, we got that for you too. The business of being Black tonight on the Tammi Mac Late Show. Just a few women achieving the impossible dream. So let's get to it. Please welcome the founder and chief hospitality strategist of the Vaughn Group, Davon Reeves, and real estate developer and investor, Jessica Myers. Hey, Davon. Hey, Jessica. How are you?
Hey, Tammi. How you doing? Good evening.
I'm doing fantastic. I'm glad you ladies are here with me today. So let's talk about this hotel business. Let me tell you, there are a few businesses that no matter what, they will never go out of business. Hairstylist is one, nail salons is another. Hotel chains, never going to go out of business, I don't believe. Although these Airbnbs are giving them a run for their money. Yes,
no. Hotels are still going to be here.
There will still always be a market for travel.
So I'm thinking that's why you chose to go into this business, but I want to know exactly how it happened.
That is the $8.3 million question, isn't it?
I love
it is. So actually how we got, well, for one, thank you for having us on the show. And how we got into the hotel business. I actually got my start in the hotel business, starting off as a front desk agent at the Hyatt Regency Atlanta. And I just always wanted to own my own hotel. I knew it was possible. I knew it was a way that you can create generational wealth. And so we were able to find this hotel deal through relationships that I made throughout the hospitality industry. My background in the hospitality industry, and Home 2 Suites in El Reno. When the deal came across our desk, it was just the perfect deal for us, and it was the right time.
I have so many questions.
We're here to answer them.
So many questions. So first of all, you started as a hotel
front desk agent.
Front desk agent. Okay, so what is a front desk agent? So everyone knows where that stands in the hotel chain.
So we are literally the face of the hotel. So when you check in a hotel, you're literally checking in with the front desk agent. They're giving you your key or your room key to check you into your room.
And is that a full-time position or a part-time position?
It can be both. It can be full-time. It can be part-time.
Okay. And you started working there because you knew you wanted to get into the hotel business, or did you just happen to start working there? And
I just happened to, exactly. Yep. That's the latter. I just happened to start working in there, and I fell in love with the industry, and I just didn't want to leave. And probably about 5 years in is when I started to see more and more hotel owners. And I noticed that they didn't look like me. And I noticed that I wanted to get out of the operations of working as a front desk. And again, for those who don't know, the next time you go to a hotel, Tammi, if you're checking in a hotel, you're going to be thinking about front desk agents differently now, I'm sure. But that's
I have to, since one is the owner now.
It's possible. Anything is possible.
God bless humble beginnings, baby. You don't understand. Jessica, so for you, how did it happen?
So for me, actually, I started out my career in real estate in the single family space. And Davon and I had kept in touch this whole time. And, we used to often go to lunch together. And that's what we call this a lunch success. Because I always say your net worth is your net worth. And going to lunch with a girlfriend that pushes you, that nudges you. So I'm in the single family space. I'm talking to her about some of the woes that we're going through and experiencing. And she's like, for all of the stuff that you're going through, you can come on the hotel side and be even more exponential in your efforts.
So when you say the single family space, does that mean that you were selling single family homes? You were a realtor selling single family homes? Want to make sure we're clear so
So
everybody.
I am a real estate developer. So I actually, yes, I am a real estate developer. So I actually build single family homes and improve communities across the country. Well,
So
here in
explain
Atlanta.
to everybody, to all of us who aren't real estate developers, what the difference between a real estate developer is and a realtor.
So a realtor is a licensed agent that helps buyers find their forever homes. So as a real estate developer, I am the one who builds the actual home.
And how do you do that?
And so I do that really by finding opportunity, by finding communities. I find the worst home in the best area so that I can fix it up and help to bring value back to that community. And
Is that the same thing, Jessica, as flipping?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So flipping a lot of times generally denotes a renovation where you come into an existing structure.
Oh, but you build from the bottom up.
Yes.
Ah, yeah.
We build from dirt to keys. Yes.
I like that. Now, yes. I have to talk about the money because look, you can't get none of this if your money funny.
Yes.
So how does that happen? I'm gonna hold on to the money a little bit because I want to figure out the connection between the two of you, Jessica and Davon. So you're going to lunch. Davon says to you, you're having trouble in the single family space. What about a hotel? So exactly. How then does it become a partnership?
Exactly. Well, we started to develop a communication cadence. And that's what I always suggest people to do, especially with your friend girls or your circle. Develop a weekly communication cadence. And that's where you start expounding upon your visions and your dreams. And that's where we found the synergy of connection, like, we can really create something epic by taking your prowess in the hospitality space and then what I do in the development arena. And we can really capitalize on this and really make change. And that's what we were able to do, come together to create something epic.
So now let's talk about the money, because Davon said that is the $8.3 million question. She wasn't just throwing that number out leisurely, soulmates, I'll tell you that. They've actually cut an $8.3 million deal to acquire a hotel. So talk to me about that.
Oh yeah. Again, $8.3 million question. That's the question we always getting. How we were able to close on that deal is through relationships. I'm working with the broker. Again, and a lot of people, the question that we get is why El Reno? El Reno, that's where the deal was. We did not hear about El Reno until we bought the hotel, until we were looking at the property. I'm a fan of the Hilton brand. Home2 Suites is a part of the Hilton brand, for those who don't know. Home2 Suites is a more of an extended stay brand. So it has that kitchenette. It has that extra space, and it was a good deal, meaning the pricing, and we was looking for something that was going to bring a strong ROI for our investors.
My husband and I do Homewood Suites all the time. Homewood Suites is a favorite of ours. El Reno is in Oklahoma, for those of you.
No, it's a Home2 Suites.
It's a Home2 Suites,
but it's still part of the Hilton families.
Yeah, because wherever I see Homewood, I see Home2 now.
See.
Yeah. I just started seeing these Home2 Suites, so they're kind of new in the game, right?
They are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very nice suites.
And there's no such thing as coincidence, so we were already connected there.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break. I hope you ladies don't go anywhere, because we're bringing you back so we can talk more about you owning these hotels. This is amazing to me. I love every minute of it. I myself, now let me share, I've been trying to get into the public storage business. That's what I've been trying to do. The storage.
That's a smart business to get into.
That's what I thought. I thought the overhead has to be low, right?
It is low.
Yeah. But I'm feeling this hotel situation now. So we got to talk to you some more about the hotel business. We're going to take a quick break on the Tammi Mac Late Show and come right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Tammi Mac Late Show on Fox Soul, where we are talking about achieving the impossible with some ladies who have done just that. Okay, if you want more of this content, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure that you hit that notification bell to get all of the best updates on new videos and live shows. And also don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and tell us how you like our shows. Tell us how you're feeling in that comment section. Joining me now is the youngest and only former full-time female equity trader on Wall Street, financial guru, Lauren Simmons. Hi, Lauren.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here tonight.
I'm happy, girl. I'm happy to talk money to a woman. Are you kidding me? Yes, let's do this. For people who may not know exactly what is a full-time equity trader and why is it so hard for women or Black people to get that full-time position?
I don't think it's hard. I think often people are a little intimidated about going into a male dominant space, in an all white space. And I don't think we're having enough exposure and conversations to get more diversity in those, what people would seem exclusive areas. An equity trader, essentially, in very layman's term, is where I buy and sell stocks on behalf of our clients and we move money around.
Oh, there it is. Okay. And how were you able to work on Wall Street at such a young age? What exactly was your journey?
So typically you will get your graduate or undergrad degree, your bachelor's degree. For me, I am from Georgia, went to Kennesaw State and had studied genetics. I moved from Georgia to New York, and through the powering of networking, I met someone at the trading floor who offered me a job right on the spot.
Are you serious?
Yes. So I was very
background in finance.
No background in finance. So I was grateful for the opportunity. I have a strong background in statistics. And for me, I was thinking long term, I'll go on and become a financial analyst, go into private equity, many different things. But I figured this is a good stepping ground and I will learn a lot. I had very little exposure to finance. My mom, she's wonderful when it comes to finances, but as far as the stock market, I had zero to no exposure. And the 2 years that I was there, I hit the ground running. It was very fast paced and I learned a lot within those 24 months.
What do you say you learned the most that got you through?
Owning your power, owning being the other in the room. Again, I think so often when it comes to diversity and inclusion, especially in these male dominated spaces, the thing that holds people back is themselves, thinking that because I don't have the background, because I don't know, I won't be able to be successful. And I think honestly, we don't give each other enough credit. You can be absolutely successful in any role. You may need mentors. You will have to, work hard and study. But I do think just going out there and being open to opportunities, you achieve so much from doing so.
Now, in a lot of industries, like the entertainment industry, corporate America, women oftentimes find that they have to deal with men in positions that they really don't want to deal with. You just want to go to work and do your job and come home. But we find ourselves in very precarious situations. As one of the youngest females on, really on that floor with majority men, how did you handle that? And were there specific things that you had to handle or not really?
I would say I think the first 90 days going into any company, it's really important. I was so grateful that I had great mentors, and my experience, at least for the beginning of my time at the trading floor, was great. I worked under Richard Rosenblatt, who had started off as an equity trader and had eventually had his own firm, Rosenblatt Securities. So a lot of the men on the exchange floor respected him, and we had an open door conversation the first day that I started on the floor. He said, let's address the elephant in the room. There aren't that many women, and we didn't realize at the time that I was the only woman. And he told me, if anything is to happen, you come to me directly. And I think once we had that conversation, any fear or any worries that I had was kind of let go. I also come from a strong Black woman. And for me, she always taught me, your job isn't everything. You can absolutely walk away. Don't give anyone your power. And I think those two things I leaned in heavily while I was on the floor, and I just owned being Lauren Simmons. So, I have that same advice for anyone else.
I love seeing that picture of you on the floor. That's an amazing shot. It's really an amazing shot. How do you end up not having a financial background, right? How quickly could you learn all of that? Because the stock market, Lauren, it's not easy.
It's not. I think for me, because I was coming directly out of college, I was still in that study mindset. But I would say people, put energy into what you want. And for me, for those first 12 months, I asked a lot of questions. I had CNBC on all the time, New York Times, Bloomberg, anything that I didn't understand, I Googled, and it was a lot of information to understand, but I was so eager and determined to be successful in my role that, I wanted to go above and beyond. But I think there is a misconception that most people that work on Wall Street come from a financial background. That is not true. The men on the floor, some of them had woodworking degrees. So if you put your mind to it, the saying, if you have a...
Thank you for saying that. Yes, I love that you dispel that rumor because I didn't know. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, not only are you this Black person on the floor, this woman on the floor, but you're the youngest on the floor. So there has to have been a generational difference. Did you get respect just based off of people being so much older than you, or not?
I think, again, that's a conversation that you have to own. For me, I, was authentically Lauren, authentically Southern, and I was young. And I think those 90 days are very crucial in how you set the tone. So for me, once I passed the Series 19, which historically had an 80% fail rate, and I was woman and I was Black, and they saw that I passed, the conversation was completely different than my first day on the trading floor. And I think I owned and was granted the respect of people respecting me. So, I took control of the room.
Look, I don't think you can look authentic and Southern. They just go together like macaroni and cheese. You cannot be Southern and not be authentic. It just doesn't work out. So I get you there. I get you 100%. Let's take a quick break and come right back on the Tammi Mac Late Show on Fox Soul. Welcome back to the Tammi Mac Late Show on Fox Soul, where we are now joined by theatrical and literary agent and the founder and creator of GotCon search engine. GotCon. Did I say that right?
You said that right. Correct. GotCon.
I want to spell it for people though. So spell it so that everybody understands what I just said.
GotConn.
Okay, this is going to be important for all of our soulmates out there, because as soon as the Tammi Mac Late Show is over, I'm going to need you to go on your computer to GotCon, for real. So you have more than 15 years experience as a theatrical and literary agent, but you are now the owner and creator of a search engine, much like Google and Yahoo. How do you go from this to that?
Well, actually, Tammi, it's a private-based search engine. And what we mean by that is that we're on this campaign to take back your privacy. When you use the big guys, right? They sell your information, they track your information, they create these profiles against you, and they utilize those search criteria, and then they sell them. We don't do that. You're always going to be private. And having clients and being in the industry, I don't want something to show up on TMZ 2 years later that my client searched, if you think about it. So we are focused on keeping your information private at all times.
So what made you go from being an agent to doing this?
I say thank you, COVID, no thank you, but it was a calling that I had on my life. In 2006, true story, the Lord put this vision on me to create GotCon. My son had puzzle pieces in my office when I was praying one day. My spirit told me to grab the puzzle pieces. I did. Throw them on the floor, or just, throw them up in the air. I did. And he said, these are our people and you need to help connect the dots. So hence COVID, my son left to stay with his father, and I picked up my Bible and I said, okay, Lord, what do you want me to do? And he said, you already know what I called you to do. So this is a calling, and I'm actually standing in on my calling and my purpose.
Oh, well, how did you know that this was the calling? What did the puzzle pieces have to do with that?
The puzzle pieces were the people. And so if I break down GotCon means God's over this vessel. That's what that actually means. Is it a Christian site? No. It's about bringing people together. And again, it's all about taking your privacy back, and me not knowing that when I searched on the big guys, that they were selling my information, tracking me, tracing me. And then what we presented to everyone to show that, hey, you don't have to be traced. You don't have to be tracked.
You can search privately. Whatever you do, that's up to you. Who gives you the right, or who gives anyone the right to sell your information? So we said no.
Yeah.
Take back privacy.
So how does one begin to form a search engine, Lene?
I have an amazing team of engineers. Jason Cook, love him, and Dr. Roderick Crowder, team of engineers. I want to say at least with 40 years of experience combined, or maybe more. And they saw the vision. I used to do computer programming, and I remember one day I don't know, Lord translated the vision to them and they got it. And here we are with this, what we're bringing to you guys today. And again,
okay, so now I have to ask this. How does one find a team of engineers? Because I don't have a team of engineers just handy. I can't even scroll through my phone. I know 2 engineers, and let me tell you, Procter and Gamble got them locked down. So I don't think there's anything they could do for me. But yeah, like, how does one come about finding engineers just randomly to help them form a search engine?
Well, I'm in the industry, so it's all about relationships. So I had a really dear friend of mine, Craig Carlisle. He had one of his college buddies is an engineer. He's Dr. Crowder. And Jason Cook used to be at our agency, and this dude's the man. So he always had the updates on all the things that were going on. So it was just a matter of talking and having that conversation, and they got it. And that's all I say is thank you. The world slowed down enough for me to be able to step into my calling and be able to present what we have today. And that's what I'm super excited about.
Look, it can't be an easy thing.
No.
For this Black woman to come in with significantly less finances than a Google or a Yahoo or any other search engine. And I'm sure if you start to make these extraordinary moves and these extraordinary, cross these extraordinary hurdles, they're going to come after you. What are some roadblocks that you've had to deal with?
Well, when I shared with people or anyone that I was doing a search engine, they were like, why? Why would you invest funds? Why would you do that? And again, it's all about knowing your purpose and standing in your calling. That was one. I didn't know. Lord told me to go left. I did left. He said, go right. I did right. And that was against everybody's odds, right? I feel and I know what we're creating. And again, it's all about relevant data. When you use the big guys, you're going to get ads. You're going to get all these things that are hidden. And when you use us, it's relevant data. So if they come after us, that's fine. But the thing that we can guarantee is that we're not selling your information.
I understand. I completely understand what .com is. I completely get it. It's a search engine where we can go and our privacy is not been compromised. But I want to know about you. I want to know how a woman, like, how does this Black woman come to be a part of the search engine category? And so that's really what I want to dig into. Like, how do you handle the roadblocks that come your way, and what is it that you had to deal with that where you was kind of like, God, you sure you sure this for me, God?
I did. You know what? It was about being obedient to what I was called to do, Tammy, and that's the only answer I could give you. It was just about obedience. I questioned it. I poured a lot of money into this.
Right. And that's why I'm asking, what are some of the roadblocks that you had to deal with? Because there could be plenty of women who are looking at you right now going, wow, she did this and just made it happen. But we know that nothing just kind of happens. And we know that everything comes with a challenge. And so I guess what I'm asking is, what are those specific challenges, or what's just one challenge that you had to face and one hurdle that you had to get over?
One of the challenges I had to face was making sure that we were able to present something that was usable, friendly, and that the world would accept. That was the challenge that I had. We wanted it to have the same user feel approach. And then me feeling competent enough to be able to produce it. And I had to get out of my own feelings saying, hey, do I know enough about this area? Do I you know, and why. And but I just kept moving, saying, okay, yeah, we're gonna do it. And getting over that was having a great team saying, yes, you're doing the right thing. We can see it, and what we're gonna be able to present to you guys, or what we presented is feasible. That was huge for us.
The challenge that most people find, and the challenge, the thing that prevents most people from from accepting their calling, or from living out their dreams, or for just going with their gut and doing what God created them to do, is the finances. So do you come from a family like the Trumps? Like, did you have all of this money and you were good? You were like, oh, I want a search engine. Daddy, can you write me $1 million check, please?
Not at all. Being a talent and literary agent, I will say we had some amazing deals closed. And so my commissions that I saved my commissions up, and I used those to create the search engine.
Oh, wow. And how did you find out what the cost involved would be?
I did, and everything is a day by day. I will say we had an idea of what that looked like, right? It was a large amount of money. So we had an idea, and I already had that. So I had that set aside for what the estimate was. And I did do research to say, okay, back then, this is what other people did. So we started off with maybe 60, 70% of that. And we're still building every single day to add to it.
Okay, got it. So we're going to take a quick break, and we are coming right back with the whole crew so we can continue to ask these sisters some questions on the Tammi Mac Late Show on Fox Soul. Back to the Tammi Mac Late Show on Fox Soul. Okay, so I'm back with the founder and chief hospitality strategist of the Vaughn Group, Davon Reeves, real estate developer and investor Jessica Myers, the youngest and only full-time female equity trader on Wall Street. My sister got her own thing going on now, so we're going to talk to her, find out what's going on right now. Financial guru Lauren Simmons, and theatrical and literary agent, and the founder and creator of GotCon search engine, Lene Bell, LB Bell. Carl Gilliard is watching. He says, LB. And we have one of our soulmates, Miss Harriet Broadknox Brown, says, tell us where it is, hon. So all you really have to do, like what do you do? How do we pull it up?
Just go, you can use Chrome or one of those guys, and just go to GOTCONN.com. Search it. You can download it. It's a progressive web app, so it doesn't even go into your app stores. That's so cool. So you get to be on stealth on your phones and on your computers, and that's the beauty behind that.
So just click in, just go to Chrome and click in gotcon.com.
And then once it populates, or once it shows up on your screen, just go ahead and download it on your phone, and it downloads directly to your phone or your mobile device, and on your computer as well.
So I waited until I got all of you ladies on the panel to ask this question. This is usually the first question that I ask on the show, and that is, why should Black people care? So I want to ask you ladies tonight, why should Black people care that you've done what you consider to be the impossible? Why should Black people care when they see a Black person doing something that no one else has done before? I guess I can start with you, Lauren.
Well, if we're talking about money and we're talking about creating generational wealth, we need to see people like me, like Robert Smith, just doing it and giving the exposure so that they can have great opportunities going forward, or even the other amazing women that are on this panel tonight. I don't think I saw enough of that. I know for a fact I didn't. And I think one thing, when we think about being in empowered jobs and making a lot of money, that looks completely different from entertainers and athletes. We can do other things, and there are plenty of opportunities out there. So the exposure is the number one thing.
It's interesting. I did a show about the NFL and their contributions to the Black community. And I made the statement that it seems like not only every Black boy wants to be an athlete or a rapper, but their parents want them to be an athlete, as if nothing else exists for them to do, as if we ourselves don't think that our children can have and acquire any other talent outside of being athletic. It infuriates me to no end how many of our parents are like, my son's gonna be an NFL player, my son's gonna be an NBA player. And I'm like, but there's so many things that your sons and daughters can do. And so I think I'm just on my soapbox right now. I'm sorry. I just think that what you said, Lauren, when you said that we need to see people who do it so that we know it is available to us. And for so long, we have not seen people own search engines, own hotels, be on the floor of the stock exchange. I mean, for so long, we have not witnessed us doing it. And so that is why our lineage says this is what you should be doing. I mean, before today, I mean, like, let's say maybe when my mom was growing up, all your parents told you to be a teacher. Yeah. So because we saw Black teachers, Black HBCUs were built and designed to turn Black women and Black men into teachers. And so there was a whole institution designed for that for us. And today, I think our options are so wide. But, enough about my soapbox and what I think. I'm here to find out what y'all think. So, Davon, why should Black people care that you have a hotel chain? Why we care that this Black woman got a hotel chain? So what?
Well, there are about 55,000 hotels in the United States, and less than 2% of those hotels are owned by African Americans. So a lot of people, they don't realize that the hotels, they're not owned by the Hiltons, the Marriotts, the Hyatts. Small businesses, probably 60% of the hotels in the United States are owned by small businesses. And actually the Indian community owns over 50%. I know I'm throwing a lot of stats out there, but I'm saying this to say,
because honestly, I thought the Hiltons and the Marriott, I thought that's who owned. I thought Paris daddy, granddaddy owned that still.
Now they do own some hotels, but it's a franchise model, right? So Jessica and I and our other business partners, we are franchise owners, right? We're co-franchise owners and we're part of the Hilton family. So what that means is that we are entrepreneurs and we have ownership in the hotel, but we did this. And the reason why we put it out on this platform. So I have a goal to create 221 hotel owners and investors in 2021, right? And the reason why I'm so passionate about this, because there's so much generational wealth. Lauren talked about it early in her segment, and you can actually do that through hotels. People don't realize that hotels is it's a real estate class. And so we're doing this and we're putting this out there and we're putting it on this platform so people can not be an athlete, or think the only way that they can create generational wealth is through, athletics and I commend you. So thank you. Hand clap, Tammy, for gathering these phenomenal group of women. I'm just learning so much, from Lauren and from LB, just the different possibilities, just creating generational wealth and lineage and everything, from your family. And so we're just sparking that interest and we're just being an inspiration because people, they hear the story like, oh, wow, you started as a front desk agent. And you know what? I always wanted to own a hotel, but I didn't think it was possible. So now it's like, oh, wow, I hear your story and now I know it's possible and it's accessible. It's like, okay, I'm putting out information out there to help you manifest your dream and actually owning a hotel.
Like, that's what I like. That is what the Tammi Mac Late Show is about. It's about passing or paying forward the information, the resources, the step-by-step of what and how we can achieve more out of life and in life. And I love that you're so transparent in the information. LB, why should Black people care that there's a Black woman who owns a search engine?
Standing in your history, standing in your calling, right? And having examples. And we didn't have, we had examples, but actually it's just standing in those and having more of those so you can be more than just a teacher. So you can be more than some of those things that we're taught that we have to be, and it gives us additional options. So again, I'm happy and blessed to be here among all these fabulous women. Your stories have been amazing. But for me, for my daughter I adopted, I want her to see that she can be anything she wants to be and she can stand in those things.
Yeah. Jessica, talk to me.
And that's what I was going to say, just to echo what all the ladies have said. It's about raising the narrative. Generally, when you look at...
Hold on, let me put that down. Raising the narrative. Yes, raise it, baby. Raise
Yes, because generally in pop culture, what you see is about 10 to 20 years in media, the cultural change that's happening. And so I love the imagery of Black ownership, Black entrepreneurship that's coming now to really change it. And Devon and I, we have blazed a trail so that people can follow behind us. From me coming from single family, that's why I created the course From Wholesaler to Hotel Owner, so that it pushes the narrative of what's possible. Whereas you don't have to just stop at developer. You don't have to just stop at flipper. You can now grow that to hotel owner. And that's what we're about. Like Devon said, we're on a mission. And we are blazing the trail for those that come behind us. Because now as we raise the bar, we want everybody to come through, and we're teaching you how.
And y'all so inspiring. 221. You might need 220 after this show is over, honey. I'm
not go. Come on.
And look, and all of these soulmates that are in the chat room, I don't know. You might knock down 21 tonight, honey. Tonight. Let's see. Cole RS says, I got sons and know they will not be no slave for pay. Okay. And then GH, our soulmate, says, awesome show. Loving the information. So I want to, speaking of information, Devon and Jessica, and either one of you can weigh in on this. You want to get 221 owners in investment properties. We need to know what that takes and what that means specifically. So let's say I do want to own a hotel. And I am serious about it. Let's say that. First of all, what kind of funds would I need? What kind of credit do I need? What kinds of resources should I already have in place to assure that I'm in pocket to make it happen?
So the first thing I always tell people who are trying to get into the hotel space, and this is anything, and I'm sure Lauren can come in from a financial perspective. The first thing I always say is get your investment thesis together first. And that comes from education. So hotels are definitely a capital intensive investment. It's definitely millions of dollars. You do have to have your credit intact. If you want to become a general sponsor or a syndicator, there are several ways that you can invest, right? So you can invest through a REIT, and that's more of a passive way. A REIT is a real estate investment trust. You can invest through a crowdfunding, that's passive. You can also invest privately with a fund, or you can be a syndicator or a general partner, and that's more of an active approach. So a lot of times people get intimidated and they feel like, oh my goodness, I don't have millions and millions and millions of dollars to invest. But what Jessica and I, what we talk about, we like to talk about collaborative economics, meaning, if you may not have all of the money, you partner with other people, and you partner with other people to invest or to invest in projects and multi-million-dollar projects. So the first thing just to get started is just to educate yourself. It's so much information out there. I offer educational courses. The National Association of Black Hotel Owners, Operators and Developers. That is a great organization whose mission is to increase African-American hotel owners. But just partnering and just reaching out to folks like myself and Jessica who are on a mission, because I believe when one wins, all of us wins. So the first thing, like I said, I'll always say, Jessica, you can jump in.
Yeah, it's all about partnerships. It's so crazy, the cliche, your network is your net worth, but it's so true, because not having someone in your corner like Devon and like other girlfriends that push you and nudge you beyond what you think is possible. But the only thing that can trump fear is education. That's why we're like, hey, we did it. We're showing you how we got to the table. We're showing you how we drew our network in to pull all of the players on the team to make this deal possible. And that's our goal, is really to teach you and to show you how you can make big deals possible if you just keep consistent and stay learning.
You know what, Tammy? I have something on my website. It's something that I offer is literally a free roadmap to hotel ownership, where I literally break down the different steps, starting with creating your ownership thesis, how to assemble your team, how to actually find a hotel, just literally creating what I've learned throughout my 14 years in the hotel space to becoming a hotel owner. And it's just and it's simple and it's free. I'm just here to share knowledge because I want to increase that percentage of Black hotel owners.
Everybody know what the website is.
Oh, sure. It's the Vonn Group, TheVonnegroup.com.
So Lauren, I have to talk about with you now, the the stock market. A lot of Black people have been getting in on the stock market now because we have these over-the-counter possibilities. We have the Robinhoods, we have the E-Trade, Fidelity, that are allowing us to get in for small amounts of money. Do you think this is a good idea?
I think, kind of just speaking and echoing what everyone is saying, education is key. I don't think everybody is financially in a place to be investing, but I do love that we are in a space where there is accessibility. Personally, what I think is going on with Robinhood or these other trading floor platforms, I don't think it's great, especially for payment for order flow, which has been a problem. It is banned in the UK, banned in Canada. And essentially, for anyone who doesn't know what that is, it is where brokers, it's a kickback where brokers and market makers are kind of in cahoots together, and they are getting paid off of the trade deals that people are doing through Robinhood or doing through TD Ameritrade. Robinhood being one of the biggest issues, because the SEC has said that there has been conflict of interest, and people should have that data that is absolutely out in the world and how much Robinhood and everybody else is getting paid off of doing these payment for order flows. However, Robinhood doesn't do that. That's why they got that $65 million fine a couple of months ago. It's a whole soapbox. We don't have that much time tonight, but
I mean, to your point, Robinhood did just get into a huge deal with this whole GameStop Reddit thing, which kind of brought the conflicts to light, if you will. And so I was wondering, is this how E-Trade works too? Is because I'm on E-Trade. And so I'm like, should I pull all my money out of E-Trade? What do I do? Should I just go get it?
I went to Ameritrade as well, and it's something that everybody does, but I do think full transparency is always key. And I think the problem that we're seeing with Robinhood is that they're not giving that transparency, that they are getting the $65 million fine, which is essentially a slap on the wrist. And what is next? And so now what we see is Janet Yellen now coming in saying, how do we do this going forward? Again, in UK and Canada, the practice is banned. You're not allowed to do it. There are free trading platforms in those countries as well, and they have a different model and structure. But I think as Americans and as corporations, we really need to be putting the little people first. And I'm honored and grateful to be in a time where we have the accessibility to be able to invest. Again, I don't think everybody is in a place to invest anyway. So it's a whole thing with that. And why I say a lot of people aren't in a place to invest. Prior to the pandemic, many people didn't have, 1 in 3 people didn't have $400 saved for an emergency fund. So if you don't have money saved for an emergency fund, unemployment is at its all-time highest. People haven't been saving. How is it that Robinhood now has 1.4 million new accounts as of last week? So with that being said, I don't think people are being that financially smart with their money, but education is key. And I want people to be in a position to invest. But I really want everyone to learn. Open up a book, get on these websites, come to me. I teach classes as well. And I just want people to be educated.
Thank you so much. LB, we're coming back so we can find out more about GotCon. We're going to take a quick break and wrap it up with these ladies next on the Tammi Mac Late Show on Fox Soul. Back to the Tammi Mac Late Show on Fox Soul, where we're talking to 4 incredible women who have, who have achieved some things that no Black folk have achieved. I don't know. Are there a lot of, what's the percentage of Black people in the hotel industry?
Less than 2%.
Less than 2%. You said that earlier. Thank you. And we already know, LB, that it's 0%. Anybody Black, zero. Ain't nobody got a search engine. Nobody in my Key Sweat voice has a search engine other than you, GotCon. And so what do you want people to know about GotCon?
Relevant data. You're going to get relevant data with us. You don't get the annoying ads that pop up based off of profiles that you searched previously, right? And again, relevant and fast. We're competitive. We want you to get fast information without all the ads, right? And you get real info.
I hear you keep saying without all the ads and the privacy. So here's my concern. This is usually people's concern when an upstart company comes, like even YouTube. We used to go to YouTube because we didn't get ads. We used to go to Pandora because we didn't get ads. Now we got ads all over the place on YouTube, Pandora, and any other streaming service. So what's to stop GodCon, who we're expecting to do really, really well? What's to stop you in the future from providing that?
Because I get irritated by ads. I don't want the ads, so I'm not going to offer ads.
But if it's going to, if it is going to give the company more value, and if it's going to allow the company to become $1 billion company, would you say no to ads?
Okay, so let me break it down how ads work. So it's based off of the search. But what happens is when when the big guys or people pay for the ads, you get them all over the place, right? And then what happens is that the information you're looking for gets hidden. We're designing specifically where those placements will be. Because again, for us, we want you to always be private, and we want to make sure that it is a user-friendly app so you can get more information. We are planning to do some things that have never been done in this search game.
We will be waiting. Lauren, tell us about your show and your biopic.
Yes. Well, my show, Going Public, will be on entrepreneur.com, and essentially we get to democratize IPOs. IPOs is a lucrative business that now through the show, everyday retail investors, anybody that is over the age of 18 will be able to invest in the company. And my role, part of the show, being the host, is to educate and empower the next generation when it comes to investing, to really give you the tools and the resources and the due diligence for you to make educated choices on why you should invest in these companies, and hopefully be able to invest in the next Tesla and Amazon. And then lastly, I'm so excited to have a biopic with Kiersey Clemens and AGC Studios that we will be filming later on this year. And I can't wait for everybody to see my journey.
Where can we find the show again?
Entrepreneur.com.
Entrepreneur.com. And give us your website, Jessica and Davon, please, before we get out of here.
It's epiccollective.com, and that's EPIQ collective.com.
Davon?
Oh, she said it for us.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, wrap us up, Davon. Take us
Well,
on.
you know what, Tammy, this has been phenomenal. It's been an amazing, you just did an amazing job of just grabbing and put together this wonderful group of women. I learned a lot from Lauren. Definitely learned a lot from LB. So kudos and congratulations to you all. It's always hardest to be the first to do anything. It's sad that it's 2021 and it's still, African Americans that are being the first or being the youngest. But hey, somebody has to do it. And then hopefully these women inspiring people to either become a stock trader, to start your own startup, to become a hotel owner. So it's just been an amazing journey. And this has been an amazing night. So thank you, Tammy.
Thank you all. Thank you, LB, Lauren, Davon, and Jessica. Until tomorrow, everybody, it's a blessing to be in your box on the Tammi Mac Late Show on Fox Soul. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.